And welcome back. We are getting ready to venture off into our first segment for the morning. Very interesting conversation. The Gold Coast 2018 Commonwealth Games, Queen's Baton Relay, and it's going to be from August 2 to the 6th. In with us is Giovanni Alanilla and Owen Meighan, both of them from the Belize Olympic and Commonwealth Games Association. Guys, loving the energy. Good morning and welcome.
Morning. Thank you for having us.
So we've been hearing so much about the Queen's Baton, and everybody is like, what is the Queen's Baton and how does it get to Belize? Can you give us a brief history on this Queen's Baton and the Gold Coast?
Okay, go ahead. All right.
Anybody, just jump in.
All right, what happens is you have every about 3.5 years you have the Commonwealth Games.
Youth Commonwealth Games.
And the Queen writes a note in the baton. Each country that's hosting it, they design their own baton. The Queen puts a note in it, and that travels to all the Commonwealth countries, the 70 Commonwealth countries. And so it travels for 388 days. And the last 100 days it will be in Australia, and it'll end at the Gold Coast for the opening ceremonies. And that's when the torch will be opened and the letter read to all the participants.
Okay.
Message we read, yeah.
Now, it is, of course, a very special occasion to be able to receive the baton itself. Let's talk about how the Olympic Association has been working in preparation for the Games and for the receiving of the baton.
Well, just to give you a little history, the last time it came, what we did was when it reached the Philip Colston Airport, we had the Cycling Association organize their athletes, and we wrote it down. They wrote it down to Belize City.
Yeah.
And from there, we did a run, Albert and Regent Street, and we ended at House of Culture, and we did a little welcome ceremony there. The following day, we went to Dangriga. The day after that, we went to PG. We did Belmopan. So we try to spread it around so everyone gets involved.
Yeah.
So this year we're doing the cycling again to Belize City. We're doing a run down Freetown, St. Douglas Jones, North Front Street, Albert Street again, and the House of Culture. The following day we'll actually go into the Chickabow.
Wow.
Right? So
Obviously, the Cycling Association is taking it there. Because I don't think you'll be running to the Chickabow, right?
No. So, I mean, that's the Chickabows one day, then the following day we go to Orange Walk.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to spread it around, give people opportunity that we don't want to centralize everything because people always, it's Belize City, Belize City, Belize City.
Yeah.
We want to get it around, have people enjoy it.
Yeah.
Be a part of it.
Now, what is it like for the athletes when they do receive or they get the distinction of carrying the baton?
Well, the way we do it, we only pick the first like maybe 2 or 3 that will start the relay and end the relay. After that, I mean, like let's say for instance, when it reaches the city, the cyclist will hand it off to the mayor.
Okay.
The mayor is going to run maybe about 20 feet, hand it off to another athlete.
20 feet? I'm sure you can challenge him to run that, right?
It's more of a photo op, man, that's all. So then after that, you just hand it off to anyone that's running next to you.
Okay.
And we'll have a vehicle with the baton actually travels with a photographer.
Yeah.
So he'll be behind the vehicle taking pictures. So everyone will have a chance to run with it. And then what we'll do is we'll put the photos on the website, and then you could just look through it and see if you find your photo and the thousands of pictures that will be there. Right? So again, it's not like we want to just say, only the athletes.
Okay.
We want potential athletes to participate as well.
Yeah.
So how do you get to be a part of it? How do you get to participate? How do you get to hold the Queen's Baton and run along with it?
Come out there and run. Come out and line up. What we'll do is probably tomorrow or today's
Thursday, yeah.
Probably Monday or Tuesday, we'll try to send out a press release of where we'll be starting from and the times, so that if anyone wants to participate, they could come out. And what we're doing as well is we're giving the first 50 people that show up a T-shirt. Just a Belize Gold Coast, Queen Baton Relay. Again, it's just to get people motivated to come out, and we don't want to say that it's only for athletes.
Okay.
It's for anyone that wants to participate. The last games we had cycling, we had track and field, triathlon, shooting, table tennis. You know, so it'll be about the same. I believe it's the same athletes again, the same federations participating in the Gold Coast next year. You know, but you never know. You never know what happens. Somebody in 3 years' time, 4 years' time, they qualify in a different sport and they can go.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Queen's Baton, the Queen's message usually says something like, it seems like 70 nations in the Commonwealth now. She would like the athletes, the participants, or people from the different nations to know each other and learn each other's culture, and these things help. These runnings and these having these get-togethers, no?
Yeah. And it also, I think, you know, knowing the journey of the Baton itself is also what makes it so special.
Yeah.
Where is it at this time? Where is it going to be coming from?
Well, it just left Bahamas. They had the Youth Commonwealth Games in Bahamas,
Okay.
and this is the first time that the Baton was at the opening ceremonies for the Youth Commonwealth Games.
Good timing.
You know, so we
Yeah.
had a team from Belize there participate. We had athletics, cycling, and tennis. You know, they just came back Tuesday.
I think our Prime Minister was there.
No, the Prime Minister met them at the airport.
Which-
Away,
I
so,
saw a photograph.
yeah. So
He helped escort them in.
Okay, I saw the photograph and I
other
thought he
way
was
around.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But Owen, you mentioned something very important, because that's one of the things that happens when it comes to us playing sport with each other, whatever discipline it is. We learn to love each other. We learn to be each other's brother's keeper.
That's right.
And that's one of the most important thing about a sport, besides the fact that it becomes now, for most people, a livelihood.
That's right.
Who will be bringing that in? Is there somebody who is specialized to say, you know what, Owen, you will be the man to fly in this plane and take this baton on? Now it comes to thought, and people will be thinking, I wonder who brings that baton.
There's a team from the Australian organizers, I guess.
Okay.
There's no special athlete with them.
No, they don't
No
send any
athlete.
special athletes. What they'll do,
It's just a
they'll
team.
send a photographer with it. They'll send security, one person for security, and then 2 other people that are in charge of basically the Americas, you know, for the games, Americas and the Caribbean. You know, so they don't make, of course, they don't go to all the countries, because they have you know, after traveling for 2-3 weeks, you need a little break.
Yeah.
And
So
then
they rotate
switch it,
them,
they rotate them out.
Besides this time, we're going to Canada and the Bahamas, because 4 countries that there's more in this year. Are we the only Commonwealth country in Central America?
In Central America, yes.
Yeah. So we are honored to be.
You know, so they're
we're
finishing up. Yeah, they're finishing up the Caribbean, and Belize will be the first stop in the Americas.
That's for the islands. Yeah.
Being the connector we always say we are, right?
Exactly.
See, even they get it. Now, you know, I think because people may not understand how big a deal it is, or why it's so special that they need to come out, how do you send out your message to the wider public? I mean, other than media appearances, what do you say to them about the prestige of being a part of the Queen's Baton Relay?
That's a loaded and a trick question. You know, I mean, the thing is that it's hard for you to try to convince someone to participate in something like this unless they take the initiative and find out what it's about. I mean, there's just so much that we can say, there's so much that we can do, but if again, it's the kids we want to get involved.
Yeah.
You know, because the kids get involved, then the parents are going to say, well, all right, well, maybe I should go out as well. And from there, it just starts growing and growing. You know, so it's a very loaded question, like I said.
Well, we could, I mean, you can always invite summer camps. There are lots of kids who are involved in organized activities right
well,
now.
what we're doing for the Chickaboo Run section is we're inviting the youth cadets.
Oh, okay.
Right? I believe Brett Hamilton used to be in charge. We spoke with him, and Mr. Carcamo is in charge now. So he's agreed to have 25 kids participate. You know, so that in itself, and then we're gonna have. We've asked all the national federations to send at least 10 athletes. 10 of their athletes. So if they send their 10, you're already looking at 180 kids, 80 athletes, plus the 25. You know, and then the parents and you know, brothers, sisters, everyone will hopefully come out.
Well, what
So
we know
oars
about the...
we don't escort oars by jet ski the way we're seeing on the video there.
the boats,
I guess people get creative, but we're gonna
Yeah.
have the chicky bowl.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
You know, I actually wanted to do the whole chan. You know, and we messaged them and asked them if, well, I want to know if the Baton is waterproof.
Yeah.
You know, so they never got back in time for us to finalize it. So we said, all right, and we're the only country in the Commonwealth that has the Maya ruins.
Yeah.
The only one.
You know, so we definitely had to throw that in. And one of the other things as well is Belize is a part of the Commonwealth. I can't remember the name. Mr. Figueroa, the minister just signed last year. Can't remember the name of it. Sorry. It's basically a conversation where the Queen is starting all the 70 countries. Where you
She just funded. She provided. The Queen's office just funded the Chicky Bowl and some of the other
Right,
environmental
right.
organizations,
Yeah.
and we were one of the first recipients. I
Right,
can't
yeah.
remember the name either.
I can't, sorry, it's slipping me right now. But, you know, but the organizers actually asked us if we could
Yeah.
include that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I said definitely we could do it. You know, it's just more
Well,
So
let's...
how deep in the Chicky Bowl are we running? What are we talking about?
Caracol,
here?
just Caracol.
Oh,
Well,
just
yeah.
Caracol is far too. But
Far away. Yeah.
But let's face it, because honestly, the Chicky Bull is definitely a big part of Belize's history, and to have most of our, or if not all of our national federations, to have people going in that area is definitely another historical feat, whereby a lot of people will be there to see the real beauty of Belize. Now, is there a spot people can sign up to eventually take that track, or that jog, or that run to
Or
the
tag
Chicky Bull?
along.
Or tag along, yes.
Well-
it's very important.
Again, we're still trying to finalize the logistics because my initial plan was to actually start in Georgeville, have the school from there participate just for a run, a 2-mile run with the kids, then go into Caracol and have the soldiers that are stationed out there participate in the run, BDF soldiers. You know, because then again, logistics of taking people in there, but it's just we weren't able to finalize it, so we just said, well, you know what, Mr. Carcamo has agreed to take the
Yeah.
youth cadets in there.
Yeah.
And we'll have them start maybe a mile, 2 miles out of the entrance to Caracol and just run in. Because maybe this is the first time any of those kids have been back there.
for some of them, I'm sure.
See?
Yeah.
You know, so that's one of the things that we're trying to promote.
So once again, let's go through the schedule as to where the Baton will be going. It arrives in country on August
second.
2nd, right?
Yeah.
And it comes down the Philip Golson.
Right,
Let's go
they
through
write,
it.
yeah, they write it down to Phil Golson, then we'll hand it off between the flag monument and the other roundabout by
Okay.
Atlantic Bank. We'll run down Freetown, Douglas Jones, North Front Street, over Swing Bridge, Albert Street, and end at House of Culture
Okay.
for a small welcome ceremony. Nothing too big. Again, we'll have the dignitaries there. We'll have the Governor General. We'll ask the mayor, the Minister of Farmer, you know, just to give a little 5-minute speech.
Which is
And
very...
then the following day, we'll go to Chickabu, the Caracol, come back. Then the day after that, we do Orange Walk.
Okay. Where are you going in Orange Walk?
In Orange Walk, we're still trying to finalize the streets with the mayor and the traffic department.
Okay.
But we've mentioned to them that we want to do the main streets and finish at the House of Culture.
Okay.
And they've also agreed to do a little cultural presentation there at the House of Culture.
Okay.
Nice.
You know. And they well, I mean, they're here for 4 days, but they say we have to rest 1 day. Like, no, we don't need you to rest. We need you to
Rest on the road.
you know. So I mean, that's one of the things that we're trying to change their mind on, but they said no, you're traveling too much. We need to rest in
Yeah.
between. And then they also have to send in their daily reports.
Yeah.
So we have to give them a little break.
So after Orange Walk,
That's it.
that's the send-off,
Yeah,
right?
that's the
So then it
send-off,
goes
yeah.
back to the Philip Golson on...
Well, it stays
day
here the
after.
night and then it leaves the following
Yeah.
day. From there it goes to Canada.
So besides this big event that we're looking forward to, we know for a fact that the summer is here. This is definitely the time to engage kids. And the Belize Olympic and Commonwealth Games Association, what are we doing for the summer?
Well, actually, we don't directly get involved with with sporting events per se.
Yeah.
We will support the national federations.
There was 17 of them. 17,
Yeah,
18 now.
18 national
national-
federations.
Okay.
And they organize
Yeah.
sporting
You know,
events.
so like if athletics wants to have a camp or they want to do a training a course, then they would apply to the Olympic Committee. Then we would in turn apply to the Olympic Solidarity or the Pan American Sporting Organization to see if they approve it. Now, if they approve it, then we can give the national federations the funding to do the training course for coaches or for athletes.
Okay.
You know, so it's not like we go out and say, okay, Sonny, you run a camp for this for tennis.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to micromanage everything because we have so many federations.
Okay.
Yeah, you work through the established associations
Right.
and federations. Now, looking forward, because obviously all of this is leading up, it's to build all the energy leading up towards the Commonwealth Games itself. Who's going to be represented at the Commonwealth Games in 2018?
Well, we're looking again at cycling, athletics. Athletics always has the invitation to all the major events, all the major games. So cycling, athletics, shooting, skeet shooting.
Oh, really? we have an association for
Yes,
skeet shooting?
we actually do.
Whoa.
They're kind of suspended right now, but they're kind of dormant, right? But they would if they get their house in order, participate.
So all those who do it as a hobby now can come back to the association.
Yeah, so we have cycling, athletics, shooting, triathlon, table tennis.
Table tennis.
Right,
That's
so the 5 sports.
Yeah. And what do we do between now and then to ensure that the federations are up to mark and to ensure that that Belize can have participation in the games?
All right. One of the things that that makes the Commonwealth different than the other major games is that you don't have to qualify,
Okay.
right? But
Invited
the Olympic Committee, we have decided that okay, if you want to send cycling, you need to show that you're having regular competitions
Yeah.
That's right.
to show that the athletes that you're sending are prepared.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going against the best in the world because most of the best athletes in the world are from the Commonwealth countries. But we don't want to just participate. We want to at least be able to compete and finish the event.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want a cyclist to go there for a 10-lap race and only do 1 lap,
Yeah.
right? I mean, just being realistic that, you know,
Yeah.
you want them to be able to say, all right, we finished the event, we participated, we did good.
Definitely.
Hour behind, but we still finished it.
Yeah.
But the thing about that,
competed.
you know, especially when it comes to activities such as this one, the more we have these folks out there, these athletes out there, the more exposure they get, the more knowledge they bring, the more they practice, the more they can compete when they get
right.
to the event.
Right.
And so these are the reasons why it's best to be strict with the associations or the federations to make sure that they continue rolling out, especially when it comes to grassroots, dealing with the youths. Because remember, when you grow them up knowing it or dealing with it, when they go to represent our country, it's definitely to compete with the world's best.
Yeah.
Yeah, and be good ambassadors. That's important.
Definitely.
That's what it is. And we've had that conversation before about what anytime an athlete steps out into an international arena, that it's no longer about them. I think individually they're
Definitely.
mentally preparing themselves or along with their teams, but people only see them as Belize.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a very important thing to remember.
You know, and that's one of the things that we have always pushed. Well, me personally, when we have meetings, I bring it up like, okay, when the athletes travel, they have to make sure no sagging. You know, you're not representing yourself. You're representing the country.
Definitely.
Wear your clothes properly. You know, just
represent yourself.
represent
well.
yourself better than
We
you
tell
would.
them- Yeah, we tell them who the boss is. There's always a chief of mission, someone in charge. He is the man you must listen to. No?
That's right. That's right.
But we always stress before the athletes leave that they're ambassadors of Belize and they have to control themselves properly.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the Commonwealth Games, it's funny because it's supposed to be known as the friendly games, right?
That stopped a long time ago.
No, it's a very competitive.
A competition is a competition. Yeah.
You know, like I said earlier, that most of the athletes in the world, the top athletes in the world, are from Commonwealth countries, so they will send their best.
Yeah.
You know, so when we send our athletes, we need to make sure we send our best.
Indeed.
You know, and that's a reason again why I said the Olympic Committee is pushing that all the federations that will be participating in these games have regular competitions to send your best.
Okay.
You can't just pick someone, oh, he's my friend, I want to send him.
No.
And these are the adult games, as you pointed out,
Right,
because
right.
the youth games just finished in the
Right, we
Bahamas.
just had the youth games.
Okay.
So we had,
So you're talking adult, experienced professionals that should be going,
well,
athletes.
yeah.
Not
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, we don't have elite athletes, but
yeah.
Not pros, but athletes. All right.
All right, and of course, the first experience they can have is joining into the Baton relay.
right.
That's the first.
And just to give you a little update also, this in December we'll have the Central American Games in Nicaragua. This will probably be one of our biggest delegations.
Delegation going in.
You know, the last 4 years ago when they had it, we sent close to 150 people.
Wow.
So again, this year you're looking around that size because we were allowed to send teams.
Okay.
You know, then the following year we have the Commonwealth Games.
Okay.
You know, so you're looking at maybe 25 athletes for that.
And Commonwealth Games is in Australia, you
Yeah,
said?
the Gold Coast.
in the Gold Coast.
Far away.
Nice. Yeah. All right. So once again, the Queen's Baton comes into the country on August 2nd. What
Right.
time is the flight coming in so people can schedule their time?
11:30.
11:30. And if you can't make it, well, the cyclists are bringing it into town.
Right.
But then it does a circle within Belize City.
And it's not only the cyclists that are part of a team.
Yeah.
You know, if you own a bicycle, come on the road and join in.
Right
Wow.
along.
The
Nice.
last time we had it, we had Leticia Westby, daughter, which at the time was probably about 5. She was waiting in front of BL on the highway, and they just, I mean, she can't ride the bike and hold the baton.
Is
she
that
just no, but it's just awkward to hold. It's very
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
So you had her ride from BL to the stop point.
Okay.
You know, which is anybody can get involved. You don't have to be again an elite team or a professional cyclist to come out and join the relay from the airport. Especially since now we have a nice road to ride down.
Yeah. So you can join the cyclists at the airport. You can meet them at the roundabout where you're doing one of your handoffs, and then along the route itself that you
Right
explained.
along the road. yeah.
Culture, yeah.
And closing off at the House of Culture. What's your estimated time that you hope to arrive at House of Culture?
About 4.
Okay. All right. So if not, you can go out there. At least get your photo with
It's
the
not a
baton.
race.
It's not a race.
It's
yeah.
not a race.
That's understood. That's
We're talking
understood.
running 20 feet at a time, Jeff. Come on.
You know, and again, it's our ages. So, you know, you might have some 5-6-year-olds
Yeah.
running.
Yeah.
We can't tell, hurry up. Just take your time and, you
And
know.
that's a great photo op for us
Yeah.
as
Definitely,
well.
definitely.
The following day, you'll be in the Chicky Bowl.
Right.
Chicky Bull. Right.
So people from that area can consider going there as well. And then after that, in Orange Walk.
Orange Walk area. Right.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping in and letting us know the schedule. That's early next week, of course. That's Wednesday and Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
And Friday in Orange Walk. So people can join in and maybe even get their photo with the Queen's Baton, even if they never make it to one of the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah,
Thank you
definitely.
for being here.
All right. Thank you for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.
All right.
Thank you.
We're going to
Thank
go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we're going to be joined by representatives of Suncast to talk about their summer extravaganza.